10 points in the league phase. Last season, guys, it took 16 points to finish in those automatic qualification spaces. They've got Paphos at home to come and then Napoli away, Joe. It really feels like they're going to need to win both of those games now.
Well, you expect them to beat Paphos at home. That's, with all due respect to them. And then it sets up an amazing tie going away to Antonio Conte's Napoli.
Billy Gilmore as well.
Billy Gilmore, McTominay. There's stories around it. There'll be a bit of jeopardy on it. But they've always got the fail-safe of going into the playoff round. Remember, PSG was in the playoff round last year and they won the whole competition. So you don't have to finish in the top 8, although it does help. They'd rather
avoid those extra games, though, wouldn't they?
Of course, especially, considering the summer they had going into the World Club Cup, which, might have a little bearing on coming into this busy Christmas period. Are you starting to fatigue? We'll see how Chelsea fare with it and Man City. I think Paris, who went in the Club World Cup, playing in the French League isn't as demanding. So coming into a Premier League campaign where you've got to go to Leeds, you've got to go to Bournemouth, it's very different to playing in Ligue 1 or La Liga or something. So the Premier League is unforgiving. So I'd be interested to see how Chelsea go from now right the way through the Christmas period.
Do you think this dip was inevitable then, based on what Joe's saying there, because they had such a short pre-season? Or do you think with the options they have in that squad and the money that's been spent, they should be able to manage it?
Well, that's what everyone was saying, wasn't they? Yeah, they've got a squad of quality and depth that they should be able to field an 11 or subs that get the job done. Yes, I think it's going to be catch-up. I think that was always going to be the worry with Chelsea, especially over this Christmas period and then into next year. I think it's all ifs and buts. You were talking about Paphos and then Napoli. We don't know what the squad will be then in terms of ins or outs or who's fit, who's injured. But they certainly made the journey harder for them, and more games would have been on the worst list for Maresca.
That Napoli game is going to be absolutely fascinating. They didn't have the Club World Cup last season, and yet had a similar dip around Christmas time, didn't they, Joe? Why do you think history's repeating itself for them? It seemed to be as soon as everyone started saying they might be title contenders that they then dropped off.
Well, then that would suggest that there might be some part of it being a mentality. I look at the Barcelona performance and the Arsenal performance. Rightly so, the team got praised to the hilt. They were superb against two of the big contenders for the Champions League, and they played them off the park. Chelsea, 10 men, superb. And then I go back to then the next phase of this week, where you go to Ellen Road in a night game, and the first 20 minutes, I watched the first. Of course, the coaching staff would have been able to relay what was going to happen. They would have done their homework and their due diligence. But it's something about having an experienced person next to you in the fire. When the fire's hot in Ellen Road, there's tackles crashing in, and it's a Premier League game. And then dealing with it within that, they have to learn to deal with them moments. Because I think if they come through the first 20 minutes at Ellen Road unscathed, without no dents on their confidence, they're not 1-0 down, they're not 2-0 down, they're in the game. Maybe they go and get a result there, and then the Bournemouth, and then you keep going. But you can't be brittle as a team. You can't be chests puffed out when you're winning games, Sid, and everything's okay, and then you lose a couple of games, and then you shoulder slump. You need to be a bit more consistent, and that's the next stage for this group.
Are they getting up more for the games against the top sides, do you think, like Arsenal, like Barcelona?
Yeah. So that I think it happens instinctively, because just the whole atmosphere around the game and the build-up to games. But there's a know-how to win away at Leeds, away at Bournemouth, away at Atalanta. It doesn't just. It's not the same performance as an Arsenal at home or a Barcelona at home. There's a remedy around it. You don't just go there, you rock up and just go, right, we're just gonna, not take our foot off the gas, but we play the way that we've played, typically good, precise football. But there's sometimes where you just got to grind it out, and they don't seem to be having that at the minute.
Do you know what it is? It's like there's no sexiness about going to beat Leeds away from home. There's you go and beat Barcelona at home. You ain't got enough tickets to give to your mates. You win the game. Everyone's great. See what you've done there to Yamal, and you've done that. It's all great. Everyone's patting you on the back, but you go and win a game at Leeds, you're expected to win. Of course, Chelsea expected to go to Leeds. Well, they've just got promoted. You spent $1.5 billion on players. You're expected to win. So that requires a different mindset. as a team, as a group, as players, where you have to find the way to do it. And sometimes it's dead harder games. I found, especially as a young player, I remember as a young player, I would have played my best games playing against Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, and then I come up against a team and you've got this, your mind's not on it, and my performance has dropped. And it was the senior players around me who would literally get me by the scruff of the neck and say, well, what are you doing? You can't play like that one week. And then you learn gradually as the years go by what you need to get your mind ready for cold nights at Ellen Road. For the unsexy games, And I think you need to figure out, that group needs to figure out their way around that.
And also, sometimes you get more satisfaction from them as well when you come away, especially the away journeys. You come back and you go, do you know what? Left it all out on that pitch. We grinded it out. We worked hard. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get some reaction from the Blues camp now because João Pedro has been speaking to Olivia.
João, a disappointing defeat. What did you make of the performance out there today?
Yeah, we are disappointed because we came here to win the game, but I think we start well. We score first, but I think in the Champions League, if you gave chance to the team, if they score, gonna be a difficult game because they are a strong team. But yeah, I think now we need to come back to England to learn and to be ready for the next game.
How did they create so many chances? Was it just a case of the intensity levels rose when they equalised and Chelsea's maybe dropped a little bit?
Yeah, I think the first half we controlled the game a lot. I think we started very well. You had a lot of chance to score more, but I think for like 10 minutes in the second half, when they score, they build up the power because they play at home. The fans also help them. I think, in the Champions League, if you concede one goal and the second goal too early, I think it's difficult to come back. But I think we need to learn. And we are disappointed, and we have to be focused in the next game.
And the next game is against Everton, but we can get the reaction from the Chelsea boss now because Enzo Maresca is now with Olivia.
Enzo, a disappointing defeat. What did you make of the performance as a whole tonight?
Yeah, I think first half we were winning. We were good, controlling the game. Probably the 2 goals we conceded in short time. 2 easy goals that we can both avoid that. But in this moment, it's like this. We need just to try to, as soon as possible, to try to win games again.
Like you say, you did have control for quite a lot of the game. So, goals change games. Did you just feel like you lost that control because of the manner in which you then conceded that equaliser?
Yeah, probably after the goal we conceded, the first one, we lost a little bit the control of the game. But I think the second half also probably, we are playing every 2 days. Probably we are for moment we look a little bit also that we struggle a little bit, but again now it's for me it's just a matter to try to win as soon as possible next one.
You say struggle. Do you struggle with the intensity and the way that Atalanta sort of kept pushing when they scored? No,
we also tried to be aggressive. I think we were aggressive like them. We had different chances also to score the 2-0, especially with the race. And when we considered the 1-1, probably there, the dynamic of the game changed a little bit.
When you made that sub at half-time, Chalobah off for Fofana, was that always planned or was that a decision you made?
Was a little bit planned because Trev is playing every game, so to give a little bit both. Also because Trev was with the yellow card, so for both reasons.
So a bit based that decision on Trevor Chalobah on the fact that he was on a yellow, but also planned because of how much he's played. What did you feel about that decision to bring him off, Joe? Was that a massive factor tonight?
It looked like it. It looked like from the performance, from how Trev's been playing. It's easy in hindsight. We can all sit here and go, it didn't work. Shouldn't have done it. Chelsea go and win the game 2-0, and Trev gets 45 minutes and he's fresh for the weekend. So. Ultimately, Enzo and all managers get judged on results. That's the business they're in. Obviously, I just think looking at when certain players are real important cogs of the wheel, and sometimes maybe you have to take a little bit of a gamble on keeping them in there because of the balance of the squad. I'm not saying Tosin or Badashili not good players, but I'm just saying that I don't think they're as effective for the group, for the team. We'll just look better and stronger and more compact when Trev's in there next to Fofana. And Achapong, I thought, done well tonight. I thought he equipped himself. But it doesn't look like a good decision now, but it's easy to say from this chair.